Welcome to Soros, my home and sister planet to your Earth. They're sibling worlds connected across dimensions. Once it was populated by primals, powerful magical beings, dragons, mermaids, and of course, seraphs, giant six-winged owls with metallic crowns. But as the barrier between our worlds thinned, it was inevitable that there would be travelers. Humanity attempted to steal our magic, such insatiable greed, and it backfired on them spectacularly. However, we were not left unscathed, and the price was immense. All of the primals were forced to take on humanoid forms and develop as humans do. Ugh! For us seraph, we no longer hatch with wings. We must now earn them over the course of our lives. At our coming of age, each seraph leaves their home to travel across Soros in search of their true purpose. That is where our story truly begins. My travels were quite the adventure. Through rainforests and across deserts, I made many friends along the way, even a dragon named Rox. I grew up in a wonderful Thrope village in a region with a proclivity for canine attributes. I consider that my second home. Those hardworking townfolks welcomed the young seraph. Well, since we're kind of considered good fortune. Despite all those years of fun, I still hadn't found my purpose. That was until one fateful evening. You see, us seraph have trouble sleeping under a full moon. It's a leftover from our primal owl forms. On those nights, I usually go on long walks. But on this particular evening, I heard the sound of crying coming from the lake. I raced over to find out if I could help, and that's when I saw it. The creature most beings feared and revolted. The succubi, parasites of the soul, feeding from whoever is unfortunate enough to be possessed. Call it naivety or ignorance, but I approached the sobbing entity and waited in silence. And eventually they began to speak, revealing that their first and only host had just perished. Marin was a kind soul who didn't wish to harm others despite their existence as a succubi necessitating it. They asked me to stay until the morning, and I shared with them the stories of my adventures. We chatted the night away, and as the sun began to rise, Marin thanked me for the laughter as it had sustained them enough to see the morning light one last time. Noticing this, I made a proposal for Marin to join with me. Instead of my soul, I'll sustain them with our laughter together. The two of us merged, and my first set of wings sprung forth. It was in that moment I realized my purpose is to bring laughter, to warm others with hope and share the strength needed to see the next sunrise. It was obvious. Elated at the discovery, I immediately returned to the academy. The Council of Wings were initially shocked, but equally fascinated by the situation. It was a rare opportunity to study a compliant succubus, and so I was assigned Arista Iceland as my assistant. She is a specialist on the study of souls with a particular focus on healing. I was able to teach at the academy while Arista gained invaluable research. It was strictly a professional relationship. At first. A few years passed and I was summoned to resolve an impending conflict. The two Thrope kingdoms were about to wage war, and the academy sent me to negotiate peace since I was on good terms with both leaders from my traveling days. I applied my purpose to its utmost effect and prevented the war. We even arranged a trade agreement, and that strengthened the prosperity of both kingdoms. From this, I gained what few seraphs do, their second set of wings. It is no small achievement to master one's purpose. And so, a ball was arranged to celebrate, but that was also the last night I set foot on Soros. General Zenai von Iceland. If that last name seems familiar, it is because she is the older sister to Arista Iceland. Highly respected and feared, Zenai is the sole defender of our academy and a true master of politics. At the banquet, I made a terrible mistake. I danced with Arista, the one whom Zenai treasures most. She accused me of corrupting her little sister. My coexistence with a succubi was the perfect cover for her to remove a new political rival. Without hesitation, she drew her rapier and attacked to save her sister. It was an impossible matchup, even with Marin's help. I tried to make an escape and took to the skies as the angel of death pursued from above. It didn't take long for her to catch up and slam me into the ground. I thought this was the end, However, a familiar hand caught the blade of Zanai's sword. It was Rox, my best friend. He had seen me fall from the sky and rushed to help. Zanai was unfazed, quite the opposite in fact. She bore an ecstatic grin at the chance to battle a dragon. Transforming into his pure primal form, the two titans of power clashed. Fire versus lightning, the night sky exploded with a display of rampage that could be seen for miles. I could feel the heat of their swords, even as I lay in the dirt, bleeding out and slipping into unconsciousness. A hand cradled my head. It was Arista. She had used her healing magic to save me, but there were tears in her eyes. We both knew that I couldn't stay. And so I tore off my wings to create a portal to Earth. And that's how I got here, a wingless seraph gaining one feather at a time, the eternal optimist.